So, The Last Starfighter, it was it was a cheesy film. It was campy. It was clearly made for TV, which was it was cool to see, like especially all the practical effects. Um, there was like a lot of uh oddly placed like I wouldn't call it like there was like it was oddly weird and like gruesome and horror at some points. Like especially when um so you have the guy, he comes and picks up, and then he takes off his face in the car. The guy who picks him up, uh, and um, and that scene is entirely so that when he takes off his face for the first time, and you see like, oh my god, he's an alien. Um, but that's mainly to show you because at the end of the film, um, he because he think he dies in the middle, and then it goes to the end of the film, and then he's alive, but you don't know he's truly alive because this could be it's the alien. He's walking up slowly, and then he puts on his face. Um, so there was like a lot of cool practical effects too. Like there was oh my god, one of the scariest things was the clone, the replicant, uh, but it was like its skin was breathing while it was taking on his form, and that was weird. But there was like some of the funnier ones, like when they were blasting off in the car, the road sign was teetering back and forth, so that was kind of funny. Um, they also had, of course, the cool old, like cars with the upswinging doors, like it was Back to the Future. It was all very very cheesy and very of its time, but it was perfect. It was it is a definitely a if you're looking for like a bad space movie, it, this is it. Um, it had, of course, all like the space scenes and scenes like outside of the Targaryen. I don't know what the Targaryen's different, but outside of the base, where like the Starfighter base in the beginning is all 3D rendered CGI. They use like the same like five different explosion special effects, which is kind of funny. Especially when they layer them over each other, because it was like this one scene at the end where a torpedo hit a ship, it exploded, and the ship exploded, and it's the same explosions, just one's really small and one's really big. So I don't know, that was kind of fun. And then uh, let's see, what else was there? Um, the CGI, because it was all like very old. It was like a PS1 game. It was very cool, and of course the premise was very funny. There you had the guy who played the arcade machine, and then of course he wins it, and then the guy comes down to recruit him, and then the guy's like, oh, you're not supposed to contact earthlings till this time, and he's so then he brings it back, and he's the last starfighter. It's the crux of the movie, and then I don't know. It's all very cliche. It's how you'd imagined it. Uh, you have like the giant bad, like entitled alien ruler who gets ousted, and then of course that's how he escapes the giant explosion when all the bad guys blow up. And so then it's like, oh, is there gonna be a sequel? Of course, there never was. Um, that brings me to like the behind. Honestly, what is more interesting than the film itself was what was happening behind the scenes, because or like what has happened since, right? Because in terms of the sequel, like I think Steven Spielberg wanted to make a sequel. There was another guy who wanted to make the sequel, but like the rights are in kind of like a limbo where no one knows where they are. I think it's like someone said that Universal owned the rights to producing it in theaters, and another one owned the right for I forget who. It it's all corporate drama, but yeah. Let's see. And then there was also a funny thing with the licensing of the game, because there was a tie-in Atari game for it, because of course, even Atari was in the credits, and there was also a tie-in book made for it after, um, which might be a fun read. But right, the game has some weird stuff because it was originally released as like the Last Starfighter game, and then it became, once they lost the license, a sequel to a different game. Um, which is funny. It's fair enough. It's always fun to see like those little weird things in the game industry, and maybe I forget which game it became, but I don't know. I kind of want to play it now. The sequel, the stuff, and then I don't know. It was just a fun movie because I was talking to some people. And apparently, like it used to be on TV all the time. Like it was like the made for TV space movie. And I even think I saw it before. I think maybe somehow my dad showed it to me or something. Um, so I don't know. It was cheesy, it was corny, it was fun. Um, there was like the whole thing with his lizard companion where, like, oh, he had like 5,000 children before the before like the empire took them all and made them slaves and the world. It was all very. A lot of the jokes was so bad, but they were so perfectly timed bad jokes. I don't know. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie, and sometimes you need those. And of course, the guy, he gets the girl in the end. Um, I mean, of course, the Luke Skywalker knockoff with the uh Outer Banks, like out blonde hair, all like basic white guys have that look where it's like the out curled hair. Maybe that's just a California thing. Maybe that's just a racing thing. I know a lot of people who drive cars, sprint cars. They're called midgets. They're midget racing. It's not a very good term. Um, but yeah. I swear I've seen the girl on something too. And apparently they had an actor, I think it was like a Will something. He was a child actor and he had parts and he became famous later, but they cut all his parts out of the film for like runtime, even though it wasn't that long of a movie. It was like 70 minutes or something. Um I don't know, it was fun. It was there was the one scene where the guy was like where like the clone was trying to like sweet talk the girl, and he was doing like the trashy stuff that the other boy was doing because he was overhearing them to the other girl, and he said that, and then he got slapped. Um, I don't know. It's a very Germa core movie. It's a movie that I feel Germa would have talked about. Does that make sense? Anyways, that's it.